Hi, this is your announcement for Philosophy 101, Introduction to the Art of Wondering. Today is January 28th, it's Monday, and we are starting week 3 of our semester. All right, so last week you worked on module 1.1, and now we're moving on to module 2.1. And module 2 is a longer module. So we go from talking about what is philosophy and what is a philosophical question. Now we're going to look at a different question, which is what is knowledge? And so the reading that you'll be assigned, and this module will take us 2 weeks. Okay, this is probably one of my very favorite readings, like ever. Okay, so this is by Plato, and it's called Meno. And it's a really neat dialogue where Meno talks to Plato, and the topic of their discussion is virtue. And so together, these guys are trying to figure out, well, what is virtue anyway? Um, Socrates tries to get Meno to tell him what virtue is, and Meno has a hard time doing that. And then the conversation just goes on from there. And like I said, it's one of my very favorite dialogues. So I hope that you'll enjoy it too. So like I said, we'll be doing this module for 2 weeks. So you have 2 weeks to read this particular assignment. We're going to read the entire dialogue. Okay, so not just excerpts or little pieces. You're going to read the whole thing, beginning to end. And so what I've done is I've divided the reading, Meno, that's Meno. I've divided it into 3 parts. Okay, so you're going to read this dialogue in 3 parts. Okay, so there's, and you'll see when you go to the learning activities and assessments on the page, the overview page, you'll see how I've divided that up. Okay, so again, it's very critical that you don't skip these pages, that you go to the learning activities and assessments. And there you're going to find I have recorded one video, which is just a little lecture to introduce you to the dialogue. So that's my video commentary 1. Okay, and then there's a little snip video that's going to talk to you about how to read the text. Okay, so the text is online, and it's probably going to look different from anything you've seen before. Okay, so make sure you watch that little snip video to show you how to read this particular assignment. All right, so that's very important. Okay, and then for this week, you have assessments. There is a self-check quiz, number 1. Okay, so you'll read that. Now I'm going to go back and just make sure I'm not missing anything in the modules. All right, so module 2, yeah. So the self-check quiz is due, there's 2 self-check quizzes. All right, so number 1 is due January 30th, which is Wednesday. And then self-check quiz number 2 is due February 1st. Okay, and then there is a discussion which will be due on February 3rd, which I believe is, let me look here. Yeah, that is on Sunday. Okay, so that's what we're doing for this week. Like I said, I hope you enjoy this dialogue, and then we will continue next week in this reading the Meno. We'll finish it up next week. Okay, so if you have any questions or you have any kind of trouble reading this, please contact me in inbox here on Canvas, and I'll try to help you with that. And just be patient with yourself reading this. This is written in ancient Greek, and it's translated into English. So it's more challenging than probably a lot of maybe materials you've read for other classes or just on your own. Okay, so definitely try to read this, more than one time. It's not going to happen if you read it just one time. I recommend reading it 2 or 3 times. I also recommend reading it out loud. In fact, there might be an audio an audio, what am I trying to say? A place where you can actually listen to the text being read out loud on the website. So that could be helpful too. Or just read it out loud to a friend or loved one. Okay. So I guess that's it for this week. I hope you have a really great week. Enjoy reading this and thinking about what virtue is, but also thinking about knowledge, because that's kind of what it's all going to boil down to, is what is knowledge anyway, and how do we know when we know something. All right. So I hope you have a good week, and I guess I'll finish. All right. Thanks. Bye. I'll see you next week.